Ibrahim Traoré, 37 years old, the youngest president in the world whose portrait has entered the Guinness World Records after winning the election following a successful coup. At just over 30 years old, he was elected president, sparking widespread curiosity about the background of this young head of state. Since he took power, what shocking changes has the country undergone? What possible way out exists for the citizens of one of Africa's poorest nations? And after countless coups like daily bread, can people truly place their hopes in this new leader?
All of this will be answered in the video. We invite you to join News World in exploring this story. But first, let's take a look at this politically unstable country to see whether Ibrahim Traoré's coup was anything new to its people. A country plagued by political instability and constant coups. Let us introduce you to Burkina Faso, a landlocked country in West Africa with an area of about 272,967 square kilometers, which is roughly the same size as Vietnam, and home to 23 million people. Sadly, it is one of the poorest countries in the world, with a per capita income of only 1,200 USD, about 31 million VND, and a sky-high illiteracy rate of nearly 60%.
This African nation has been struggling for nearly a decade with a jihadist insurgency between the government and Islamic militant groups. Since August 2015, thousands have been killed, nearly 2 million people have been displaced, and over 30% of the national territory is outside of government control. Notably, political instability in Burkina Faso seems to run deep. Since gaining independence in 1960, the country has experienced 8 coups. That means, on average, every few years, a general gets the idea to overthrow the government. The most tragic period was under Thomas Sankara, the leader nicknamed the Che Guevara of Africa, who was overthrown in a 1987 coup led by his close associate Blaise Compaoré.
Compaoré then held on to the presidency for 27 years, 1987 to 2014, extending his rule by amending the constitution, manipulating elections, and crushing opposition, something the people eventually couldn't tolerate. In 2014, when Compaoré attempted to change the constitution again to continue his rule, the people of Burkina Faso took to the streets in massive protests, set the parliament building on fire, and forced him to flee to Ivory Coast. That coup attempt was strongly opposed by the public and ultimately suppressed by government forces, but it sent a clear message. Within the military, no one truly gets along, and factions are tangled up like a hot pot of mixed ingredients. After a period of relative calm with the 2015 elections, Marc Christian Kaboré took office. But just a few years later, the country once again sank into crisis, civilians dying, soldiers killed, and people fleeing their homes in chaos.
The government was as weak as a wet noodle, unable to control even 40% of the country's territory. Things came to a head in November 2021, when an attack in Ennata claimed the lives of over 50 police officers and soldiers, enraging the public and exhausting the military's patience.